Today you're going to be learning deeper learning. And what I mean by that is you've learned all the administrative stuff. Now you're going to start to learn what the inspection tool is all about. It's about your scan, your photos, your line items, and then finishing the project by going into Xactimate. So today, again, Friday training, deeper learning. We're going to talk about room scan, taking photos during the scan. You're going to actually see me scanning a portion of my house. Someone asked about manual draw. Yes, you can do a manual draw in there, and I've utilized this for large commercial claims. It's very simple to do. And yes, you can do manual draw and room scan together, and there's no hiccups or anything. And then photos, adding photos, galleries, albums, tagging reports, annotating and labeling, descriptions, both manual, you can do voice, and we've actually added AI auto labeling, and I'm going to upload some damaged photos so you guys will be able to see that. Then we'll go into scoping, managing your line items, grouping, and group setup. I know there was some questions about that the other day, Wednesday, about how it all works. So you'll get the deeper learning on that and how it works. Basically, it's tailored for you. You can do really anything you want in there. You can build your own as what you're familiar with, macros. We have about 5,700 line items in OSA behind the scenes. It will cause you to download those so you can access them, and then you'll be able to get in there and use them. All right, scoping, managing line items, and grouping and setting up. The overview that we did on Wednesday, just logging in, you log in, you see that screen for 4 seconds. And if you never log out, you'll never have to log in again. The initial setup is going into just OSA. Just all those tools right there, you're able to go into. I'm not going to dive deep into anything or show you. The business card, the FCN card, the adjuster profile. Again, that's the most important one for you to be able to do it. And that way, if you're working within or a partnership with your IA firm that you're working for, all this will automatically upload to there. Then you've got your dashboard. And again, you've got the status, the contacts, inspection. This is just to help you manage this. The way I use this, I'm the visual person, and I just use it. If it's red, I've got to research it. So I'm looking at what was wrong and what was done. Okay. Then once the claims are in there, there's all your claims. They automatically map once you have them in there. And you can go in there and as you're going through inspections, I really like this button, so I'm going to talk about it again. If I hide complete, excuse me, all my claims disappeared that I've already inspected. Then I can bring them back and just show the pictures there or the icons. And you can actually click on the icons like I showed the other day. Sorry. If I go into the icon, you guys should see my little cursor now. I'm going to click on this purple one right there. Click on it. And then it comes up. I can go in and edit this. I can go in and modify it, anything I need to do if they call. Another thing you can do is over here in the calendar. You can go in and simply click on one and drag it around and change the date. So timing. So we made this, again, as intuitive as we could for you to just help you without having to bounce around. Okay. And then we talked about the forms. Again, so I can go click on the form here. I can click on it and drag it up. If I've completed that advance, I can click on it. I can fill out all the information right there. So I can go in and type the numbers, 7,500, go down to the next one, 7,500, then scroll down, have the entered sign right there on the site. You can fill out the other boxes, owner, and date signed, whatever. So all of that information is there, just trying to make it as slick for you as possible to where you can use everything that you need to do and go through everything on site with the policy holder, get everything done right there on site. I'm going to go up to the arrow in the upper left, change screens. Now we're going to talk about the inspection. The third icon down, click on that. On this particular claim, I haven't added a building, so this is the screen you're going to get to see. You have to add a building for that. So I'm just going to click on that, add your first building. It's going to ask me the building name, so I'm just going to name this main dwelling. Oops, can't spell. And then if I go into this arrow, you can see the arrow. It will give me slab on grade, basement, crawl space, elevated with enclosure, all the different types of building. These are all populated on your preliminary report. So if you have to modify this, you can right here. And it just gives you. So for today's training, we're just going to leave it slab on grade, and I'm going to create. Click on create. And there it is. There's my first level. Now I'm currently in my scoping tools, as you see at the top. We're going to drag this over, and we're going to go. So to the left, dragging it, is your photos. So this is set by default, property verification, the exterior, interior water line, and exterior water line. We've set that up just to give you guys something saying, okay, I need to take these photos. Notice there's no other photos in there. There's no other rooms in there or anything. Don't worry about that right now. We'll talk about that later. Yes, did someone have a question?
Show us again how you got to that screen right there.
Okay, so when it opened up into the scoping tool. That's new. I don't know why it's doing that. But if I slide to the left, sorry. Yeah, if I just slide, it will go. So I can slide again to the right, excuse me, and it goes to photos.
Okay.
So everything under the inspection tool is right there at your hands. It's just sliding left or right. So again, the photos, this is where your sketch is. It's asking you to select a floor. We haven't done that yet. And then your scoping tools, and you'll see this. Notice it defaults to just first floor. You haven't added any rooms, so there's nothing there to add line items to except for your exterior. I will give you just a little bit. I can go in and click on exterior up there, move my icon, and I can go to the arrow and click on it. Notice there's no photos, there's no scope notes added, and the next thing it says is add line items. So that's just a beginning for you. Okay, so we'll get into that stuff later. But the first thing we want to do is go in and start a second. So it's asking you to select a floor. If you look over to the left, you'll see first floor. You can actually put multiple floors on this for if you've got a crawl space, a basement, a first floor, maybe the second floor is flooded. However you need to organize it, you can do that. So we'll just go to first floor and notice there's 2 rooms that popped up. So for those of you that asked last class, there's your manual sketch. All I can do is click on that and I can start to draw rooms. Okay. But what we're going to talk about today is with the Start AR experience. So we're going to go into that. Okay. I'm going to pick up my iPad and I'm going to go in and Start AR experience. Okay. Notice on top it says OSA room scan, and then it has a damage location. We're going to go ahead and go into that damage location and click on it, and then it's going to ask you for a new area. So I'm going to go click on new area, and I'm going to go and just type in my entryway. Okay. I can manually type in, I can custom create an entryway. I can just go up here and I can change it to whatever I need to. Delete. Let's go in and type in entryway. Oops, added a period, sorry. Added a period and clicked on it. Okay, same thing. I just had the ability to do it. So now I'm going to start my room scan. And notice it's saying move the device to start. Okay, and point your camera at the top edge. Okay, so right there, it started drawing the room. All I'm doing is just going through there, and notice on the screen, you have a take picture down at the bottom. So I can take my picture right there. I can go over here and take my picture here. Then I can continue my scan. It's scanning the doors, it's scanning the windows, everything. Take that picture. It's going in scanning everything. Take another picture. What I like to do, and this is just me as a process for you, I'm going to go in and just take a picture from the inside looking out. And now I'm done scanning. So down below, it's showing the 3D view. So I'm hit done scanning in the upper right-hand corner. And now I've got to save that room. And now it's asking me, okay, where are you going next? So I'm going to go into my office. So I'm going to type in office and click yes, create, hit ready, and notice it's starting to scan. So I'm just going to take my overview shots here again. This is actually my wife's office, just so you guys know. She's getting ready for, she runs a wedding venue. Not that you need to know that, but she does. Okay, make sure it sizes the window correctly. Take a picture. I can take damage pictures here if I need to. I can do all my photos right here. My process is I like to go in and do overview shots first, and then go back and do my photos and my scope notes on my second pass. So I'm done scanning there. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. I'm going to add my living room here, add a new area. You guys get to see my house. Just add my living room, create, ready. Oh. Take a picture. Take a picture. Notice it hasn't drawn the second wall over there, so I just got to backtrack a little bit to make sure it shoots over and draws the second wall. Then it's going to drag the door and click the door. So done scanning. There's my 3D save. Now I'll go into the dining room, and this will be the last. Actually, I'll show you this because this is a weird dining room. Create that. Ready. Taking everything as I go.
Do you recommend turning the lights on if you have power to the house?
If you do, yes. What I like to also do is I've got I'll show it to you when I get back to my office. I have a Harbor Freight 12,000 lumens little hand flashlight that as I hold my iPad, it goes right on my knuckles of my hand. So it illuminates everything I need to. Okay, done scanning. Notice I didn't scan my kitchen, and there's a reason for that. You could go ahead and scan it. You can scan multiple rooms if you want to. I just get in a habit of doing it one room at a time. That's just my preference, but you have the option and the ability to do anything you want. So I'll hit ready. And part of the reason is because now I'm taking a room. I've got the actual pictures in there, and they're all going into the room that I just labeled. So I don't have to go do anything separate. Now I'm not going to get in here to the class just because my fingers aren't working very good because I was working out in the yard today. But what I like to do is here, future down the line, we're going to get the measuring tool out to be able to identify the cabinets and be able to measure the cabinets firsthand. It's a little trickier than you think it is, but that's one of our future builds that we're doing. And then what I do right now for on site is I just go ahead and use everything. So I'm done scanning. That's all the rooms I'm going to scan. Now I go in and there's all the rooms that I've scanned. So I scanned my entryway, my office, my living room, my dining room, and my kitchen. Is there any questions about what I've just scanned? Okay, so the next thing, what you see, Matthew Aguilar,
Yes.
you had a question?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I'm doing this from a hotel room, so I tried to go scan the bathroom. And I guess it had started scanning while I was still standing in the bedroom where I had first scanned. So when I went into the bathroom to start scanning, I was getting a message called to relocalize.
Yeah, so basically, and that's LiDAR, just so you understand, LiDAR was confused on what you just did. So all you got to do is go back to the last room that you scanned, make sure it says ready down at the bottom. Once it says ready, then you can jump into the bathroom. It just lost you in all the pixelization.
So when you
So
say
it
go
just-
back, you mean me physically walk into or reopen that room in the app?
No, you physically go back and just wave your iPad around the walls and everything until it says ready down at the bottom, and then it's found you again, and then you can go back into the next room. You don't have to go into it, you just have to physically go into it, obviously.
So I'm still in the bathroom in the app, but I walk
Okay,
back
so-
into the living room.
Yep, go back to the living room, wave your iPad around, and it will say ready down at the bottom. Once it says ready, it's recognizing where you are, then it can find you again and go back into it. Billy Phobia,
thank you.
go ahead and ask your question.
Yes, what about closets? How easy is that?
What about what? Sorry.
Closets,
Closets. You can do
Yes.
closets, but you'll see as you go through, measuring different things. I use my iPad in closets too. I just didn't have any closets in those particular rooms. It's just a little tighter fit, but the way the merge scanned areas works, it will show that there's a void right there. And when you get into the next version or vision of what I'm going to show you, you'll be able to see how you can do that. Okay.
thank you.
Yep. So right now I've got all my merged or all my scans. I'm going to go ahead and hit the button that says merge scanned areas to sketch. I'm going to go ahead and confirm that. And there's the floor plan that I just did. Okay. Oh, I got to move you. Hit save. Now I've saved that floor plan, and there's my 3D drawing or my 2D drawing that I've got right there. So now I can go into that 2D drawing and notice it named a couple things, but it named a couple things backwards. Not a big deal because you went in there and named those rooms. So we're going to go into the dining room right now. So I'll click on the dining room and move my, move my icon up there. Click on that. And now I'm going to go to the upper right-hand corner to details. Oops, excuse me, hold on. And I can change that room to entryway right there. And now notice it brought in the photos of that. It also changed the name of that room and kept everything. So the dining room has just been put on hold. So now right here with your room 1 that you see, remember I did room 1 dining room and the kitchen. So I'm going to go up here to the wall tool. And I'm just gonna draw that up. Now I've created the 2 rooms. Go into room 1, label that. Go into dining room. The photos came over. Go to the room 1 now. Go to the kitchen. Tag the kitchen. The photos came over. Notice it filmed that other room 1. I didn't label that. That's great. I wanted it to recognize it. So I don't have a name for it, excuse me. So I'm gonna blow it up, click on it, go back in the selected area. Look at, I can add a new area right there. So I can go in and just go in and say bar area, 'cause that's what that is. Oops. So I typed in bar area, create, and there it is. I took no photos of that area, so there's no photos. I can actually go click on the photos here. Let me go take a couple really quick. I can go straight to my camera, allow my camera and microphone to be used. Notice I get some helpful hints up here. I can add a description at this point if I needed to. Allow speech access, yes. I can add a photo there, click on it. Or I can actually tap it to do another, to add it into a different location if I wanted to. So I'm just going to go take a picture. Processing that. Here's a nice thing about the camera. If you are left-handed, you can grab your camera dot and you can move it over to the left-hand side, left-handed, or you can actually zoom in a little bit closer if you need to get into some of the damage. And I can take a picture right there. Okay. Also, up in this window, if you ever run into any questions or problems, you can hit on the question mark and it will re-show you everything that you've seen. Okay, so I'm going to hit the arrow in the upper left to back out. Now I've got photos in that particular room. BF, you had a question? Or Chris, you had a question?
Yeah, the question was where you drew the wall between the kitchen and the dining room. Since that's a missing wall, can you make it a missing wall here?
Yeah, so here's what you do. So it's very simple. I can go into my opening, so I can drag it like that and make it a missing wall if I needed to. I'm going to go ahead and undo that. Or I can click on the wall. Oops, excuse me. Select. I can click on the wall, go over here to details, and notice in the right-hand side, I can actually hide the wall.
Cool.
So there's a lot of different tools that you can do here in order to update. Someone asked about doors the other day. So I'm gonna just show you doors. If I click on doors, I can add an auto standard double pocket overhead door bifold. So I can go in here and just hit auto. If I put my finger on the door and I click on the wall, excuse me. So hit select, click on that. If I drag it, notice, see what's happening. There's a single door. If I go to a certain width, it's going to turn to a double door. I can change it to bifold doors or garage doors. I can do all that just by dragging my finger on the screen. Okay. And then the same with windows, click on windows. I can just add the windows. I can go hit select, click on the actual window and draw it out bigger. Or over here on the right-hand side with the details, you can go in there and add your dimensions right there. 8, apply, and now the window will change to 8. Noticed in the bar area, I took a picture of a door. So I'm just going to put a standard door right there. And that's where that was. Is there any other questions about that? I can also shift the doors. So look at the office. Those were doors, but they had, they were just center. So there they are. I can just move it to where I center. Also on the entryway, there was a side light window. So if I click on the window, the LiDAR just didn't pick it up. You just have to, make sure you can get all that. Is there any questions so far about what you saw in the manipulation? Okay, so the question earlier was about a closet. Okay, so if the closet didn't show up, I can click on wall right here and I can go in and draw it another room. I can add another room. So if I need to extend that back, I can extend it. I can draw another room if I need to. So I can continue to draw, and this is the way the manual works also. The manual draw, same thing. You just draw a room and you just continue. And now I can go in and label those rooms the way I need to, and I can take photos in those rooms and I can detail those. Okay, so David, you had a question?
Yes, can you do a break so you can pop out one section of a room, make it an L shape or whatever?
No, we don't have that capability. We're working on that right now. It's one of those things that I threw in a curveball to my son. So he's working on that. So you're just saying if you had a break right here, just click on it and just draw on that up. You can,
Correct.
yeah, no, he's getting there.
Okay, thank you.
Billy Fabian, you had a question?
Yes, for closets, can you make them a sub room in your program?
No, you'd have to do that in Xactimate.
Okay. And
Yeah.
another suggestion, on all the entry data, is there a way to make caps automatic on the first words?
I just use the shift. I just use the shift key to do that. I don't use. I mean, I just do it just like regular
Yeah,
English.
time is money, and a lot of forms I fill out does it automatically. It'd be well worth it to me anyway.
Yeah, you could do a cap locks on your iPad.
No, I
And
don't
use
want
it that way.
complete caps, just first word, first letter of a word.
Yeah, I just shift cap.
Well,
Yep. Matthew, you had another question?
Are we still hoping for the ability to import this straight into Xactimate? Is that something that's still on the
I've
horizon,
been
or is
doing
that?
it for the last week. So it's already there. Did that answer your question? You'll see all that toward the end of the class.
Sounds great.
I saw someone clapping. Whoever that was, thank you. Hold on, yeah. I seem to have lost something. Hold on, bear with me. My camera died on me from my recording. I'll have to figure out why that happened. All right, so there you've got your floors right there. So I'm going to go up to the upper left-hand corner up here, follow my icon, click on the arrow, the back arrow, click on that, and notice I'm here. So now if I slide my screen to the right, there's all the photos that I've taken for all those different rooms. Now they might not be in the order that I wanted them in. So all I do is simply, like entryway was the very first thing I did. Click on the entryway and just drag it up. And what we're doing is right now, I just saw the production of it. We're gonna compress all of this to begin with, so you can go in. There's feedback on something. Someone needs to mute. Lori Swan, mute. Thank you. Um, where was I? So all the photos will be compressed, so you can go in there and um, move your order of the rooms, how you inspected it. Like this one, see how it's kind of like living room was here. If I go up, it won't let me go any further. It will drop it there, but I want to be able to do it with less work. So we're compressing all the photos. You can reorganize your rooms, and then you'll be able to hit an arrow to open up your photos for that room. So it's just, again, intuition, or making it intuitive for you to be able to go in there and do your job a little easier and still get the same results. Is there any questions about the scan, what you've done right here, before I move on? Okay. One thing I do want to say about the scan is practice makes perfect almost. So as you're learning OSA, as you're learning how to scan, it would behoove you, or just learning from experience and practicing and testing this over and over and over and over again. It's better for you to start the same way and go the same way. And like I said, there's built-in computer learning. So the LiDAR is going to recognize how you do things a little bit easier and a little bit faster. The biggest thing right here is you don't have to turn this into anybody. Everything that we've done here is on your device, and you can upload it to Xactimate. You'll be able to do everything you need to do. And for the final product, you'll be in Xactimate still, but you'll be able to do right here. All right, so I'm going to move over to the photos. Here's your photos. Notice if I'm in the office right now. If I just click on a photo, I can drag it anywhere I need to. Okay. Oh, that photo needs to be down in another room. I can go ahead and drag that photo into another room. Okay. You can move your photos the way you need to, any way you want to. Okay. Also, up in the upper left-hand corner, you have select, filter, and edit. If I select, notice it's giving me different things, so I can go in and select photos if I need to, or I can go into select all, and I can give them a label. So by doing that, here's my photos selected. I want to select, or here, let me back up. So say I want to select this photo, this photo, this photo, this photo, just multiple photos. I'm just going to check. So now I can go in, notice in the upper right-hand corner, there's a delete button. Don't delete, but edit. So now I can say who took the photo. I can type in the date taken. I can do a description if I wanted to. But the biggest thing that I like is select associations to add or select associations to remove. I'm going to make sure all of these photos go into my preliminary report. And then I'm done. Okay, so all those photos that I just selected will show up on my preliminary report when I want that report. You can also filter. So you can do it another way. You can select your filtering here. So I can go in. You saw me just select preliminary. I'm going to hit preliminary, and there's all the photos that I selected just for that preliminary report. Okay, if I phone general, notice there's no photos selected except for those last ones because I did that in training. So I'm going to go in and select, done. I want to select all. Oh, hold on, let me get back here. There's all my photos. I want to select. I'm going to select all. I would have done actually this in the beginning, just so you know. I'm going to edit this. I'm going to add all those photos to my general building report. There's my Personal property buildings right there up at the top. So now all those photos will be in my general report. So there's my general report. Okay. A nice thing about the photos too is, say I'm in the entryway right here. If I click on one photo, notice I have previous, so I could go to the room before this, but I also have a carousel here and I can go to the next room. So I'm in the next room now, the entryway. Okay, or I'm in the office now, excuse me. So I'm going to go back to the entryway. Each photo has a little pin in the upper right-hand corner. If I click on that little pencil, notice it gives me the ability to paint, text, crop, tune, filter, stickers. I like the stickers. If you have a particular sticker you'd like to have added, that's not a problem. Just send me it, design it, send it to me, and I can get it added. I'm going to go in and add a sticker. Here's my interior water line, and I'm going to go ahead and make this bigger so people can see it right there. Add that. So I can go back into photo. Oops. I can go back into the photo and I can circle it if I need to. I can change the color, do really anything. It's just a matter of you looking at it, playing with it, learning how you want to have it done. Okay, then I can go down here and I can do manual typing. This is a test. Okay, or I can click on the keyboard. Let's go keyboard. Oh, you know what? I turned off my voice. You can actually use it. I turned off my microphone earlier, but you can actually go in and use your microphone also. You just got to make sure it's on. So you can label your photos there. Another thing is, here's your photos. I'm going to go in and do something. So I'm going to hit the plus sign of the entryway. I'm going to go into my gallery, hit confirm. So I'm going to go into some photos that I had. Let's go into Candy. I'm just going to show those, add those photos that I just selected and add them. The one thing I wanted to know, all those photos added, I'm going to go to the office. I wanted to show you this. So I'm in my photos. I've got my photos opened up to where every frame that I do turns into an album. Okay. So all my photos that I take are in here. So there's the photos I took of that one claim. Oh, I don't want to select them. Okay. Here's the other photos that I did. Okay. I just want to open the door. Let's go in and select. Oh. Add, so I can add those photos. Okay, so you can use your album gallery. You can take photos manually. You can go down to the lower right-hand corner. Hit that. You can do a new building. You can auto describe your photos, or you can just go into the plus and you can take a camera or pick your camera and take a picture. So that's your photo. If you need to zoom in, you can zoom in. And there's the damage. So everything is set up here basically for you to use at your best. Again, one of those things is practice, play with it, use it. You need to understand it. Pam Reed is usually my assistant when I'm teaching. She can tell you that she needed to learn it before she got out there, and she still struggled a little bit, but she caught on really fast. David, you had a question? There was a question from Jeff in the chat room. And can you bring in different advanced forms? We don't have the forms customized right now to be able to bring those in, but they're not going to object the FEMA form, and that's the one that's in there. That's straight from the FEMA website. David, if you can make your hand go away, that'd be great. Just it threw me for a loop. Thank you. All right, so is there any questions about the photos that you've done? Matthew, go ahead.
I saw that we can rearrange the rooms, but I didn't see you show if we could rearrange the photos within the room.
Yep, so I'm in the office right now. If I just click on a photo, I can drag it up. See it?
Yep, thank you.
Yep, all you got to do is press on the photo and you got to go halfway. Well, no, he fixed that too. It used to have to go halfway on the photo just because it had to check out of where it was to move it, but he was able to fix that. All right, so that's the photos. All right, so I've added some photos here of damage. So this is one of the biggest things. So you see all these photos that I've taken. I'm going to go down here to the lower right. It's late at night. I don't want to label photos. So I'm going to go down here to auto describe photos, and I'm going to click on the icon. Don't hit auto describe photos. It doesn't work. And notice this is in beta. And the reason is it's learning, it's training. We're training it. So anything that you might have, excuse me, like one of the things I went to do is add mechanical items. It didn't recognize mechanical items. So we just recently, I'm not sure if he's released that one yet, added that to recognize mechanical items if they were damaged or how they were damaged. But I'm going to go over here to auto describe, click on the icon. So I'm going to scroll up and I'm going to click right there. And notice I got 62 photos, and watch the screen. It's a little laggy, sorry.
Todd, what did you click to get it to do that?
The plus in the lower right corner, and then you got to hit on the auto describe icon, and it will label all of your photos. Now it will find no damage. It will find all kinds of different things. I mean, you just saw it. There was one that said it found effluence coming out of the cement slab and a crack. It just measured the water line, water stain on the wall up to 30 inches. Remember, it's not perfect. So you do have to review it. You do have to go in there and you have to look at it. But it's a whole lot easier than you having to type in all of this stuff up front. Yes, John. Sorry if I butchered your name.
No, it's actually pretty good. Does it say only saves the photos to this app, or does it save it on your device as well?
It saves it on your device. That's where I showed you the albums. It saves all the photos in your albums also. So a question was asked to me at a training event I went to, and they said, well, how do I get the photos off that? And I said, go to your photo albums and just download them to Xactimate. Preference go there and download them. That's all you have to do.
So thank you.
Yep. Sorry, I can cancel it, stop and review, but I'm going to let it continue because I want to show you guys something. I'm hoping you'll be able to see it on the screen. This is much nicer than labeling 62 photos. Still have to go in there. Obviously, my house hasn't been flood damaged, so it's showing a lot of those not damaged. But that's all it can. All right, so all the labeling has been done. So now it's going to ask me to approve it, or I can go through and go through each photo. Look at this one, no found damages, enter your own description. Damage to the base boards, I'll just say. Okay. And then I can keep moving through. Notice it's saved. And then it keeps going. All right, so I'm just going to approve the changes. So I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it on there. But see the green check mark right there under the room right there that I labeled? Let's see if I can show it to you right here. See the green check mark? So it labeled the photos and hold on, let me see something here. Yeah, so it didn't label any of these photos because it came up with no damage found. It's not showing any flood damage. Sure, there's flood damage in there, but the photo that I took, the AI didn't recognize the damage. Basically, it sees it as a garage, type thing. So everywhere there's a check mark means that photos were labeled. If not, here, let me do something really quick. Sorry, I forgot to do this. You got to get out of the inspection and go back into it. And this is just a glitch that we can't figure out. This is an Apple thing. So notice you'll see more check marks on there. You just have to get out of the window, let all of the changes seat into the photos, and then go back to your photos. And now you'll see all the question marks. Okay, sorry, I meant to do that. We're trying to fix that right now, but it's an Apple thing with everything. All right, is there any questions about the photos?
Yeah, I got a quick question. Are we able to,
Yes.
I mean, you may have already said this, to to use our voice to text to label?
Yes, you can. Unfortunately, I turned my microphone off. I'm not going to try to go back in there and have you guys watch me do that. But if I go into a photo and I go down here and I click on the photo, I can do the show keyboard and see how I got my microphone turned off. All you have to do is turn on your microphone and it will do it. It has to do with the reverb why I turned it off.
Got it. Awesome. Cool. Sounds good.
But
Thanks.
yeah, you can go in there and that's what Pam did. She was beta testing it. She would voice label all of her photos. There's a couple other people on here. Chris Clark, I know, voice labeled them. Michelle Brown has done some voice labeling. I myself have done voice labeling. It's just real easy to sit there and just label all your photos voice. But I do it also with the Auto AI. Is there any other
Sweet.
questions, Lisa? Or
Yes.
that was you.
Yes. This is
Go
going
ahead.
back. This is going back just a little bit, but when you chose the photos, for instance, to go in with, say, the prelim, I
Yes.
didn't catch it, but I'm assuming it still leaves them in that room in the same order. They're just attached to the prelim, and then you can go in and attach them to an advance or your general photos. Correct?
Yes. So I'll click on a photo. So here's my photos. So down here in the lower screen, it's showing up. Sorry, it's the weather's starting to come in. I'm trying to hurry for you guys. But I've got Todd Eisenberg, everything. Then down here you have building form tags. So I can attach those photos to any report in there. As long as I've got the general, I got the prelim, I got the advanced, that photo will not leave its room, but it will show up in all three of those reports.
Perfect. Thanks.
Michelle Brown, you had a question? Yes. Yep. Sorry. So if you go in here, notice this photo has a label or a photo description. It also had a green check mark. So this one has a green check mark. Discoloration visible. Wood doors show signs of moisture. Okay. This is my actual house too. This one, discoloration noted on the flooring throughout the room. Possible moisture staining on the baseboards. Yeah, that's what happens with cats. So different things for the photos. Is there any more questions about the photos? Okay, let me back up one. So there's your photos. Those photos will go in every room. So I want to show you this. So here's my office. I'm going to go over here to my sketch. If I click on my office and I go to details, there's my photos. I can also review my photos there, or I can add a photo. I can do anything from this window also. I can do the same thing with line items. I can add line items from this window. So like I said, remember, I said I go get the floor plan first with all my overview photos. Then I go right back to the entryway where I started and I take all my detailed photos. Then I go to my next room, take all my detailed photos. Actually, back up a little bit. I do my scope notes first. I go down here and add my line items for there. Okay, so there's my line items. There's all my different groups that I've got selected. I can go in there and do a bunch of different things. Okay, so I can do everything from this one window. I can go to this window and do my photos too. If I need to, that's fine. I can organize my rooms this way. But again, I can do everything from this window. So you don't have to jump around your iPad as much. You can do everything here. Suppose I forgot a closet. I can go in here to the wall. Oops. Sorry, hold on. delete. Oh, deleted the wrong wall. Okay, so that's a good learning curve. So this was my office. So I'll go back and select my office. And then this one was, I didn't name it. I'm going to name what it is. It's actually a bathroom. I could also have just done this, undo. So I could have just hit the undo button, and I don't have any restrictions on that. I do. I think it's like 40 or 50. I can undo 40 or 50 times and get rid of those. So what I was trying to show you is my walls. If I forgot something in here and I needed to add a closet, I can add that closet right there. I know a couple of people had questions. Yes, Lisa. You had a question? Your hand's up.
Oh, no, sorry. I guess I forgot to lower my hand. Sorry about that.
Oh, no problem. I'm just making sure I can keep track of everything. My helper disappeared on me today. All right, so we're in the windows again. I'm going to hit the upper arrow in the upper left, my back arrow. So I'm just going to back out of that. Again, my photos, my scan, and there's my scope notes. Here's all my scope notes. Here's my rooms, my entryway, my dining, kitchen, bathroom, bar area. I believe we are going to be able to reorganize it here too. I'm not sure. He was doing some testing with everything today. But where you need to start with your scoping is right here under the OSA icon. It says manage line items. For all of you, when you get this download, you'll have to click on manage line items. It's going to come up with a screen to download the line items. You have to click that download line items, and they're all going to come in the back room. You can't see them except for right here. Okay, so over here on the left-hand column, notice you have pre-built groups. So bathrooms, complete kits, doors, electrical, exterior, floors, kitchen, main room. I just built the main room. That's why it says custom, tile, trim, and walls. So all these rooms, I'm going to move that. All these rooms have been built for you. The one I like to use is complete kits. So if I go to complete kits, I got all other rooms complete, attached garage complete, basement complete, bathroom complete, brick veneer, closet doors, everything. So this is a complete package. I'm going to just go ahead and select all other rooms. I'm going to give you a little quiz. How many rooms are damaged in the floodplain? 3, just to give you an example. All other rooms, a bathroom, and a kitchen. All other rooms can filter through here. So if you go to the group editor section, notice it starts with structure drawing method 1, goes through subfloor, flooring, walls, electrical, doors, windows, interior doors, bifold doors, windows again, and plaster. Okay. If I wanted to click on one of the line items, I can make changes right here to anything in those line items. I don't need to do that right now. Or if I needed to add a line item, I can go down to the bottom and say I wanted something in this, say acoustical ceiling popcorn. I go over here to the plus, click on it, and now the acoustical ceiling popcorn has been added to that group. Okay, so I just created my own, changed it a little bit, or I can go over here to the groups where it says the plus. I can click on that. I can create a folder. I'm just going to use the main room that I created. So I'm going to find the main room. What would you like to add? I'm going to just add tile to that. And the group name, I'm going to name it Deeper Dive, Deeper Learning. Add group. So notice it highlighted green in the bottom. And now I got to figure out where I just was because I just forgot where I was.
Complete kits. Okay.
I don't know. I don't remember. Oh, deep. I was in tile. Remember, I selected the tile folder
Yeah.
and then I added a group, deeper learning, right there. So I need to select deeper learning. I can go in here and click a bunch of icons, and all those line items are adding right there to that deeper learning. So now I have just customized that group for my own macros, the way I adjust, the way I want to work, and everything. So you have the ability to do that. Chris Clark, did you have a question?
Yeah, would you back out and show us how you got into this again? Where it says
Yeah,
manage line
so,
item?
yep.
Okay.
So to manage line items, you just click on the OSA icon.
Okay.
You click on the OSA icon and you can manage line items right there. And you can start to build your groups.
Okay.
Okay. So now that you've seen the groups, again, I haven't written any estimates. I haven't done anything with my claim yet. All I've done is manage my line items. So I built these the way I wanted to. I've given you the ability to build this the way you want to. You can do anything you want. So now I'm just going to go back to my scoping tool and I'm going to go here to my office. I'm going to go add line items. I'm going to go to my complete. I'm just going to go into, I'm just going to pick one just because it's smaller. Basement, add groups. I just added all those line items to the basement. Now I can go in and delete them if I want to. So let's see, I'm going to just delete this antimicrobial, delete it, click, it's gone. Okay, so this is done. So what's nice about this is now I've modified it. I'm going to go ahead and delete one more. So I can go down to my, say, bar area, and I can add line items. I can go into copy, and I can add the same exact line items from the office to that room. So now all the line items that were in the office are now in the bar area. So the way I like to do this is just me. So I go in there, I hit copy complete, all other rooms, add groups. There it is. Go to the next one, dining room, add rooms, complete kits, all other rooms, add groups, or I can just go down and copy. There's a bathroom, there's my living room. I'm going to go add line items, copy. Notice every single room that I've added line items to comes up. This gives you a versatile event to be able to say you have some rooms with carpet that you've manipulated or some rooms with wood floor. This gives you the ability to please mute whoever that is.
Oh, shit.
Hold on. Sorry. They heard, my dogs heard you guys heard that over the phone. So now I can go in and I'm just going to pick dining room, add groups. So I just copied those rooms over. Now go to kitchen, go to complete kits. I'm going to scroll down to kitchen complete, add that group. And I'm going to scroll up to bathroom, add line items, complete, bathroom, add line items. So notice there's no pricing. Okay, Xactimate doesn't share pricing. Okay, so you can't bring in pricing to this, so it doesn't allow us to do that. What it allows us to do is take the category code, the selector code, the description, the activity, and the calculation. Okay, some of these calculations may be incorrect for what it is, but that's a default that they have. So like this one where it says ceramic tile porcelain tile. If you need to change that, you can click on it. It comes up and you can delete and add floor and save. Now it's just changed. So you can do pretty much everything here. The whole guide is for you to be able to do a foundation for your estimate to be able to get you into Xactimate to be able to upload everything as an estimate. Is there any questions about scope notes? Does everybody like what you see?
Damn.
Yeah, it looks
I
awesome.
heard that. Okay. This is a very versatile tool for you to be able to use out in the field. It does not take very long. You saw me. I'm teaching a class and I went in there and added those line items. Is there work I have to do in Xactimate still? Yes, but I scoped my house that you saw the other day and I scoped. So I did everything. I did 6 rooms out of my house and I scoped it and it took me approximately 35 minutes. So I did the scan, the photos, and the scope notes all together and uploaded that to Xactimate. All right, so your question is, how do we upload to Xactimate? Okay, so I'm going to show you kind of 2 things. I got to open Xactimate really quick. So, yeah, I have time. This storm's all right. So I'm in Charles Harris right now. There were 2 things that I made sure I hit upon on the class on Wednesday. And if anybody can say it out loud, that's fine. If not, I will show you. You have to go into the claim data and you have to make sure all these fields are filled out. Okay. So I've already saved a couple of these to ESX. I'll give you an example. So like this one right here, if I export to ESX, I'm over here on the right-hand side where it says export TSX. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. A window comes up. So notice it says the project details has a green check. The upload sketch has a green check and download ESX has a green check. So I've basically downloaded this claim already to Xactimate. So I'm going to go over here and download and share. So I'm going to click download and share. Okay, there it is. So I'm going to give you an option. For those of you that have mobile, you can download it to your mobile device if you want to. I don't use it. I go over here to my drive, click on my drive, Charles Harris ESX. I'm going to go into my training folder, test files, and now I'm going to save here and upload. There it is. ESX is done. I just created it. So I created the ESX with all my photos, or my photos are in a manual. Okay. My photos are in a manual and my sketch went over and my scope notes went over. Okay. So let's go into one more claim that I want to show. Oops. Robert Johnson, I think it was. So I'm going to try to upload to ESX right here. So this is the way your window comes up at first. Okay. So I have Robert Johnson created. Notice it says project information. I'm going to click on the down arrow in the upper or on the right-hand side right there. Click on that. And notice as I go through the project information, these are the required fields Xactimate has to have us loading. Notice right here, it says email missing. Okay. This claim will not upload to Xactimate because that email is missing. So I scroll over here to edit claim data, click on it. There's my email. So TISNBRG @gmail.com. So there's my email. I go over here, save. So now I click back on the project information. I'm scrolling up in my window. I'm going to click on create project. Project created successfully. So that's good. Okay. Occasionally you might get a red box that says an error. And so we've been playing with this, and the error is actually coming from Xactimate, and they're down, or their server's down. So you just got to wait a few minutes, maybe an hour or whatever, and re-upload. So that has been an occurrence. We've met, but next, it's asking me to upload a sketch. I have no building sketch. So I'm going to back out really quick. I'm going to add a first room, main, building. Excuse me. Create. I'm going to go over to my sketch, select a floor. I'm going to manually draw something. Wall. Here's my wall. I'm going to draw another little room. Okay. I'm going to add a door. Oh. Add a door there. Add a door there. Add a window. Add a missing wall for the closet right here. There you go. So I can name this room. Click on it. Sorry, select. Click on the name. Give it a room name. Test room. Test manual draw. Create it and then go into that. Test closet. Oh. Great. And so there's my room. So I'm gonna go back to export to, oh wait, no, I want to do one other thing. So now I'm going to go to my line items, add line items. I'm just going to add electrical to that one. Add line items, bathroom. I'm just going to add the toilet. Add group. Test here. Add line items, electrical. Add group. Okay, so now I've got scope notes in those rooms. I'm going to go over here, export to ESX. Notice I've passed the first stage, project details. So I'm going to go over, select a floor, upload to sketch. Everything's done. Now I must complete the project. By completing the project, Xactimate is kicking back the ESX to you to be able to download that fast. So here's your download. I'm going to go in and save it to my Google Drive. Test files. There's the other Charles Harris ESX I got. This one I'm going to save too. So I've just created 2 ESX with you guys on the class. Okay. So before I get out of my OSA and get into my Xactimate to show you where everything is there any questions about that? Because I got to share another screen. Yes, Michelle Brown. Yes. So if you have great internet connection, data service, I've got data service, and that internet connection does not always work. As of Tampa and during Hurricane Helene, I mean, I had internet in one house, went right next door to the next house, and had no internet whatsoever. So what I tend to do is I tend to do everything that you see here. It's all saved on my iPad. It's not in the cloud. It's not anywhere. It's not being stored by me anywhere. None of your information is being stored by me. So when I get back to my hotel room, I just process the ESX. I hope I answered your question in a roundabout way. This iPad, yeah, the iPad, everything that you see is completely offline. You don't need the internet. The only time you need the internet is to import your claims or export your information. Now that has to do with your forms and all of your other, your ESX, everything. That's the only time you need connection. Now, there will be possibly a web browser for this coming out, or an adjuster portal that you'll be able to sync to, because some IA firms has asked about that. So we're looking into that right now. It's on the MVP. We're looking at that, and all that information could be then shared directly with them, and you can get on your OSA. Once you sync, you can get on it on your computer on your web. Is there any other questions? Chris Clark.
Yeah, just to make sure. So when you imported the ESX, the first time you did it, you were importing it to the Google Drive, but it seems like the second time you did it, you imported it directly to Xactimate. Is that right?
No, I did not.
Okay.
I imported it back to my Google Drive.
Okay. So
Now I had that option, but the only that option that you saw. So here, let me. I'm not sure if I can get back into it. Maybe I can. Yeah. So right here.
Yeah.
So notice, excuse me, right here I have Xactimate right there.
Right,
That's
right.
my Xactimate mobile.
Mobile. Okay.
Yeah. So I would have to have the professional license, and I can download it to Xactimate mobile. That case.
So we're going to download it to Google Drive, and then just import the file from Google Drive into Xactimate.
Yeah, you're gonna see me do it here really
Gotcha.
quick.
All right. Okay.
Okay. So I don't use the Xactimate mobile device anymore. Yes, I can, and yes, I have, and yes, I did during Hurricane Helene, but I don't have to use it. Yes, Lisa.
Yes, Todd. For the line items that we have an option to choose from for import into our claim, do those on OSA, do those include all of the line items Xactimate has, or are they line items that you built off of some of the Xactimate options?
No. So Xactimate has over, I think it's 40,000 line items now. I'm not putting 40,000 line items in my system. I put basically, I think right around 5,700 line items in the system that I manually did. So, I mean, here I can kind of show you.
So we have obviously the bulk of them, and then we can add any little specific line items once we get it loaded into Xactimate.
You will not be able to load any manual line items from that. But what you'll be able to do is you'll be able to go in there. Yeah, you won't be able to load any new line items in there. That's a process, just so you know.
I mean, in Xactimate. So
yeah, in Xactimate, you can do it.
Into Xactimate, then we can make any little additions that we would need to.
Yep. And that's what I do. I've got everything done, and then I can go in there and modify it in Xactimate. This is basically just to build you a foundation.
Sure. Sure. Thank you.
Billy Fabian, you had a question.
Yes. Is there anywhere to do like a verbal note on such items that you may not have in your system?
Is there any way to do what?
Like a verbal note on a scope note. if you like, if there's something that you don't have in your system that I want to make a note of to do later in Xactimate,
No,
is there anywhere to
Xactimate
take a
doesn't.
note?
Yeah, Xactimate doesn't allow us to do that because the way we're connecting to Xactimate, they don't allow us to transfer notes over. So when you get into your Xactimate, at that point, you would have to put a line item or item note.
Right.
Yeah, Xactimate is limited on what we can do and how we do it. Okay, Matthew.
I think what he was asking was for items that we don't find in here, since we're using this as a scoping tool, is there a place for us to put our little notes so we don't forget later to add it to Xactimate, or do we need to make a notepad
Oh,
note
no.
somewhere?
Yes, no, thank you for clarifying that. Yeah, if you go right here, say I'm in Robert Johnson. If I go to my dashboard right there and we'll go to Robert Johnson and so everybody saw that. So I selected Robert Johnson down here and then I can go right here to notes and I can say this room, the living room has an accent wall made of brick. There you go. So I just added that note. So I can keep whatever track of those notes that I need to right there.
Okay, so we can't access that from the scoping tool part. We just have to go back to the dashboard to add it.
Yeah. You can't, and I can actually, I'll see if my developer, my son, as you all know, can add a little note section to that. That shouldn't be very hard to do at all. So I'll check on that probably after the training today. Chris Clark.
Todd, this is Frank. I got the microphone.
Okay.
fixed.
Yeah,
I'm
go
sorry
ahead,
about that.
Frank.
So just in the group thing, what I was thinking about is like boilers in New England, like in Sandy, however many, is there a group that's a boiler's got like 10 or 15 line items in Xactimate to do it right?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I have all the line items for a boiler, but you could go in here.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Well,
Let's
I'm
see
just
what
asking.
I do have.
Well, I was thinking about that and like air conditioning things. If you already had those set up, or I can't remember all the line items for boiler now. It's been too long, but I started thinking about those.
Yeah,
kind of
I mean, I've got a boiler in the basement right there.
So
I've got
perfect.
actually a couple boilers, but those are just basic line items that you would use out of Xactimate. And also in the exterior, you do have the
Yeah,
AC units,
the boiler's got
AC exterior doors.
that expansion tank and all that need to be. All right, that's my question. Thank you. I'm gonna get off.
Yep. Nope, no problem. Chris, you had a question?
Yep. So once we export this to Xactimate, it's going to automatically include pricing.
Yeah, pricing will roll over. The first thing it's going to ask you for is the zip code or location where the claim is at for pricing data. And then once you do that, you enter the pricing data. I'm going to show you that in just a second. I just want to make sure everybody's done with OSA questions. So if everybody's done, I'm going to go ahead and stop this share test file. So I had Charles Harris, CSX, and Robert. So I'm going to drag him over. That import was successful. Charles Harris was added and Robert Johnson was added. Okay, so now I've got the ESX in there. So just go into Robert Johnson really quick. There's the price list request that I was telling you about. I don't remember where this claim was, so I'm just going to pick a price list, Mobile, next. Okay, now with this is another training that I'm going to go over. Right here, because of Xactimate different things, there's some homework that you have to do or studying. I've got a white paper that's built on it right now that I'll share with you as you guys want to go further with OSA. But see right here, it says 9 violations. There's a policy number. That's not a requirement for Xactimate. A data loss, date contacted, date received, inspected, entered, estimate or empty, and type of loss. These are not requirements in Xactimate for an ESX. So they don't have a connection point or an API for us to be able to send the information to from OSA. So those fields right there have to be manually done for you, unfortunately. Okay. I apologize, but I have no way to help you. Okay. So now if I go to estimate sketch, I want to show you something. So here's my sketch. Okay. If I go to my line items, notice there's no line items. Okay. Part of the reason is because I haven't downloaded the claim. I've submitted the claim to Xactimate, but I haven't downloaded. Remember what I said? It's the same as Eagle View. So if you go up here, right here, in that little corner, right there, if I click on that, it's going to say one-stop adjuster. I'm going to import that claim. So now I've imported that claim. And now when I go to my line item estimates, I have all my line items. I don't need these fields right here. So I can actually delete that sketch. It has no bearing on this claim whatsoever. Once source one-stop adjuster is provided what you need. So if I just go to my sketch tab, I can go down here and delete. Yes. Delete. And all I'm doing is just cleaning up my file. That's all. So now I have my now I have my line items that I put in there right there. And now this is where you could add your notes or do any modification you need to. Okay. And it comes over with the pricing. It comes over with all the information. There might be some items that come over as a 0, and that is because it's usually a linear foot equation, and you have to enter that linear footage or that PF amount. So just bear with that as it's going through, because Xactimate is very, I can't say bad or anything, finicky, because it has their default codes and then you go in and change it with something. So you got to just watch how that happens. Okay. And that's your estimate. Notice there's no photos. I didn't bring any photos in. And the reason is back in OSA, and I didn't show you, I showed it to you yesterday. I meant to show you the report. All those photos that I took in OSA are in that building photo report. And it looks just like Xactimate. But if I wanted to, I could go in here and go into my photos wherever I had them saved, and I could download them, that album. So if I had access to my Google Cloud, my photos, I could load them right here manually. Okay. Then the next one, we'll save and exit that. We'll go into Charles Harris. Same thing, it's going to ask me for a price list. Just pick one. Go through pricing, taxes. I've got to go through here and just fill out the dates, estimator, references, whatever. There's still some homework you have to do. Oh, this is a big one. Sorry, hold on. So this is huge. So right here, notice I've got FEMA flood, Charles Harris, and this is the same way Eagle View comes in and other things from other companies. You have to go into here and you have to duplicate that file into a FEMA flood. Once it's in there as the FEMA flood, you can delete the other one. You don't need it. Okay. Sorry, that's just, again, that's an Xactimate thing. They don't have the ability to, even though we have it coded as a flood claim, they don't have the ability to pull that flood claim over as an API. So there's my flood claim. My line items, notice my pricing is still the same. Everything's the same. I just delete the estimate. I know that's a little annoyance, but yeah. So now I can go back into Charles Harris. Again, I'm just going to go to sketch. This was my earlier one. So import that.
Does OSA automatically save as you go, or do you need to constantly be saving it?
As a good thing, I just constantly go up to the upper right hand corner and save, but it saves as it goes. I can't remember what the time frame is. I think it's every 3 or 5 seconds, but it will continuously save as you're going through everything.
Okay, cool.
Yep. So there's a new Charles Harris. Go and duplicate, make it a FEMA flood, create, delete the estimate. The price list. Yeah, was there a question? Yeah, Matthew, go ahead.
So I'm in the app. Earlier I didn't ask this because I was on an iPad where I had downloaded the app back in, I don't know, May or something, but I had downloaded it today on my phone. So it's a new, fresh download.
Right.
I've got a sketch, I've got photos, but I can't find the scoping tool. When I try to slide right or left.
Yeah,
whatever you
so
call it.
no, so that's what I was getting at on the very beginning. I'm not sure if you were on at this point. The scoping tool has not been released yet because we're dealing with Xactimate on that point.
All right, I missed that. Thank
That's
you.
what we've got. We have to get the contract signed before Xactimate will allow us to release the scoping tool. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, and again, I apologize for that, but it's coming, it's ready. It's been beta tested. It's been tested through probably 50 claims now, and everything's working. So I went to them yesterday, didn't hear a response from them. Went to them today, I got a response from them, and the attorneys are just waiting to sign it and then send it to me, and then we're going to release it to the Apple store. So you should have that here. I'm hoping by Wednesday next week. I'm saying that because I don't know what Apple will do. Because Apple reviews everything. All right, so here's my room. Here's the sketch that I did, the new sketch that I was playing around with. Sorry for that mess up on my part, but I forgot to update the sketch. So I'm going to go click on this. There's my one-stop adjuster, import. Okay, I'm going to go down here. Let it finish doing its import. I'm just going to delete all these other ones. Yes, just clean up the mess. That's just me. That's my thing. And there's all my line items. There's the 2 line items I didn't do. If I needed to go back into Sketch and draw an exterior, I could right click, draw the exterior, and do the same exact thing that you do for your claims now. I'm doing this fast, so I know I'm going to mess it up. There was a question that happened on Tuesday. I didn't actually go out there and do it just because the weather wasn't very good here. But you can actually scope the outside or scan the outside of your house too. But you just have to be quick about it.
Do you want to show them the other way to do the exterior? Or is that what you're doing? That's what you're doing now. Never mind.
Yeah. And so I do want to know, I'm going to just show you this, guys. I don't know if you guys do this or not. Just a little tips from the pros or whatever you want to call it, tips and tricks. If I've got my exterior right here and I go into grouping mode right over here in the far right of the column, I can click on that and notice I've got right, left, back, front. If I change this, I can modify this and I can say vinyl. Click OK. And I can go over there and hit vinyl, yellow, yellow, yellow. So what that just did is that pulled the square footage of that wall of vinyl and gave me the square footage for that correction. And in OSA, I already have all the vinyl siding built in. I've got vinyl siding, brick, wood siding, and stucco already built in as a group. Just to help you out. Is there any questions about Xactimate at this point? All right. Any other questions about OSA? Because that's all for the training. All right. Well, since there's no questions, go. I heard something. Say again.
Yeah, what's your next training that goes over the prelim report? On Wednesday, I missed the first 30 minutes. So I want to have to do that training again.
Yeah, actually, so I'm putting together another training for next week. I'm going to have Tuesday and Thursday trainings. I haven't figured out what exactly it's going to be doing, but you're not the first person to ask about forms. So I think I'm going to do forms and just some other training with that, just kind of fine detailing it as people ask more questions. And then Thursday, I'm also going to do some more training.
Awesome. Sounds good. Thank you.
Yep. Is there any other questions while you got me?
Do the forms
Yes.
come to Exact too, or no?
No, you don't need, all you do in there is you just download the forms and they'll go to your shared drive. They don't go over to Exact.
Got it.
Are
Any
you
other
going,
questions?
yes, are you going to provide links on your website to these training classes? For example, tonight, if a partial part of the class was missed due to schedule, that we can go back and listen and review again? Are you going to have those class links maybe on a website, on your website at future date?
Yeah, so what I'm doing, and that's partially what I'm starting this weekend, is I've gotten with a couple people to help me video the classes, but I'm actually going to go in OSA. You have you have the administration, then you have the dashboard, then you have mapping. All that's pretty much self-explanatory, but I'm going to have one video on all of that. Then I'm going to have another short video on just the forms. Then I'm going to have another short video on the photos, a short video on the inspection, and a short video on the scoping. And all those are going to be put onto the website so you can click on them. And they're also going to be uploaded in the resources on the iPad itself, so you can watch a quick tutorial. I've got to just make sure they're not too long. I want them short and quick. Any other questions? All right, well, thank you for attending. I hope you guys liked what you saw. Welcome to the team as you guys keep going through. I look forward to meeting with you and helping you out. If you have any questions, please reach out to me on my email and we'll go from there. All right, thank you very much.